Hi Cancer, here is a general look at your solar chart for April 2014, and we do have a real full agenda here over April, and astrologically speaking we're in for some gale force influences which could turn out to be quite a month. And as you are one of the cardinal signs, then you could be feeling some of this. So it is the cardinal grand cross in our skies. That's to say that we've got 4 planets, and each of them are in one of the cardinal signs. There's 4 cardinal signs, and Cancer is one of them. And that's going to be over in our skies over April. So we've got Mars in Libra, Jupiter in your sign, which is altogether a good thing, Uranus in Aries and Pluto in Capricorn. We're also going to have some Mercury thrown in to Aries, and there's going to be a lunar eclipse. And at the beginning of the month, the sun's going to line up with Uranus, Pluto and Jupiter. And then at the very end of the month, well, 29th, we're going to have a solar eclipse in Taurus. Now, the Grand Cross energies are colliding mostly from mid-month onwards, and will once again set up a sort of standing wave frequency or cosmic signature of intent in our skies for this general loosening and unraveling of corroded establishment structures and generally systems in our societies. And I made another video about this, and the link should be somewhere here. In this particular month, we're going to have Mars lighting the fuse here, but Mars is in retrograde, and the advice would be not to be very kind of forward-moving or dynamic with starting off a project or an enterprise, or if you've got to throw the gauntlet down to somebody and maybe take action against them or proceedings, or indeed get into negotiations, really and truly it would probably be better to leave that, if you possibly can, until May the 20th, or if you can't, try and engineer it so that they initiate the thing. Because I'm not going to say it's doomed to fail if they are the initiator, but I'm going to say that it probably will not be panning out in the way the initiator would like, and it will be sort of fraught with delays and maybe having to go over things again and do things again. But what I want to say about this Grand Cross configuration in general is that there is an absolute oyster here, an absolute pearl in the oyster. It's not an oyster in the pearl, is it? No, it's a pearl in the oyster. Because we have Venus in the most amazingly positive connection with 3 of the major players in this Grand Cross configuration in our skies, which is a little bit like a pressure cooker. So Venus is the kind of safety valve, and the more we can go with the flow where Venus is sort of pointing us or opening the door and ushering us in, the better we will do in this time here. Venus is going to be in very sensitive and altruistic Pisces, and here it is where Venus finds her empathy and her deeper understanding through knowing what it feels like, or imagining what it feels like to be walking in somebody else's shoes. It's quite simply. And those of us who are ready to grasp that ultimately it never was about differences between us all, black, white, shoulds, should nots, have nots. It's actually more about the commonalities that we all share, and not only with other humans but with the whole of the created world around us. And we are all here together, standing on the same earth under the same sky. And even if some moron is shouting at you or, you know, some job's worth is telling you what they can't do because it's more than their job's worth. Just try to keep cool, calm, and collected and connected to that center of really non-judgment, you know. I know it's quite a big ask, but as well as you can, because Venus is really going to be underpinning and supporting this month, because this is the chance, you know, to get out of that pressure cooker of differences into what I would say is the higher awareness, where the whole of the human race is going. We're all heading here to this unity consciousness, because Neptune does stand for unity consciousness, and Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and that's where Venus is going to be. So you can see my thinking here. But it is true that Venus will provide a safety valve, so that compassionate side can be coming out more, and that would be the smart way to go. Now, the new moon at the end of last month, March the 30th, did line up with Uranus, Pluto, and Jupiter. So that kind of goes through April, and you may feel the need to be getting out of something that's been holding you back. And there will be a strong focus on your responsibilities, your worldly responsibilities, but also your standing in the eyes of others, the status that you have on the sort of worldly sense, or just kind of within a group or the family. But you need to be visible, take the responsibilities, step up to the plate, and move forwards with integrity and dignity. And of course, as you always do. Then there's the solar eclipse on the 29th. So this is the day for you to step into making an improvement in your knowledge about something, getting in touch with someone, picking up the phone, writing that letter, doing that text. Whatever it's about, just take that action, which then will set an intention for 6 months to follow. So actually the solar eclipses are stronger, really, and they have a longer time of relevance than the lunar eclipses. Until the 20th, the solar energy theme means that you will be taking targets and overall directions and responsibilities to others more seriously. You're being more aware of certain rules, maybe bureaucracy, maybe being more aware of parents or parental type duties. And the overall idea is to project a good image and, you know, hold yourself as well as you usually do, and be consistent and responsible as you go forwards. But reputation or how you're packaging something will have your attention. And then until the 8th, your mind could be more focused on those from a distance, those who live away from you, or it could be about travel, transport, timetables, schedules. You'll tend to be more aware of the distant horizon. You'll tend to be more aware that there's still more for you to learn. You'll be more aware and probably really quite encouraged that there is a new potential here. It could be time for you to refresh your mental palette, get out of the daily grind, and go somewhere to, you know, help you to think in bright new colors. You could be, as I say, on a bit of a learning curve with Mercury there, and you may even be consulting with somebody, maybe even looking into the legal side of things for some reason. But you can also be putting the word out. That's another way this transit works, you know, putting the opinions out or the information out about something into the wider world. And then from the 8th, Mercury moves, and then discussions and correspondence and ideas are very much chiming in with where the position of the sun is, short-term plans, longer-term considerations, where, you know, how are we proceeding from here, where am I going from here? So anything to do with career, but also a new enterprise, a new project, and dialoguing with those who may be helpful in whatever way, those who can maybe facilitate your aims and ambitions, but do keep your eyes and ears open for how things are unfolding across the wider stage, Cancer. And expect the unexpected and roll with those changes. And then from the 23rd, it's a period beginning where you want to discuss and consider and generally chew the fat, perhaps, with others in a group type context, but also being interested at somebody else's slant on things, because that could get you along a new train of thinking. This is a very progressive area here, and it's very much connected with the internet and all information technology. So a real, kind of information exchange going on there. So you being surprised by others' slants on things, but also equally others finding you articulate and your ideas interesting. And really anything which serves a common goal or interest, a common interest, will tend to be on your mind. Until the 6th, Venus is in a place of emotional depth, and you can really move others with Venus here, but also you can be very touched by someone else. This is, of course, a good transit for the romantics and artists among you, but there could be something that just touches your feelings quite deeply going on from the 6th. And Venus could manifest as a relationship which could help you out materially or emotionally in a major or a minor way. And deeper connections, in close relationship could be very rewarding at the moment. But also a relationship could revolve around a shared space, possessions, property. Things can be ironed out to mutual advantage there, because Venus has this tendency to harmonize and balance. And you can just become more intimate in a relationship, more involved in a relationship, whatever that means to you. And then from the 6th, a key relationship could revolve around somebody at a distance, somebody who lives away from you. It could be that you and someone are together on quite a learning curve together. It also could be that you connect quite well with and have a rapport with somebody from an academic or advice-giving type environment, or turn that around, others could be connecting very warmly and well with you because you were the one who is the advisor or the guide for them. But again, it's good for putting the word out on a wider stage. Now, from the 20th, it's going to be a proactive phase when friendships and contacts, new and old, are strongly highlighted. The group dynamic, some kind of community of kindred spirits or kith and kin maybe, or just those who've got an aim in common. Also, again, it's very much to do with internet type, information technology type scenarios, and it's very future orientated. You could be thinking about new gadgets and gimmicks and whatever, and networking. That's very well highlighted there also. So this is a very future-orientated phase when you may achieve an aim which has been on the back burner for a very long time. Networking is also very well highlighted there. And now Saturn has been, since October 2012, in a long transit in actually a very positive angle to your sun sign, Cancer. And it means ultimate success if you take the long view and just chip away at something which is enterprising or speculative or creative or all three. You're investing your creativity in something or someone, and you could find that there are obstacles along the road at times that you've got to get over or round. But basically what you should be doing with this transit here is building towards the future, and building at the moment a solid and robust foundation for anything which you are, taking a bet on, or it could even be to do with children and the education of a child or young ones. What you're doing at the moment is kind of supporting, protecting, but also structuring in some way something for them. But it can be something else. It can actually be a love relationship as well. And once again, maybe feeling a lack there, but also keep on working on the building, as it were. Don't kind of give up on it, because wherever Saturn is, we can feel a lack. But then that lack should be challenging us to reach into a different area or in a different way to achieve what that thing is that we're yearning to create and to build in our lives. So whatever kind of project it is or relationship it is, you have to take this very disciplined, patient approach, taking the long view, and slowly things will begin to take shape, will begin to blossom. Until July, Mars is in a major transit at the root of your chart, which means that you could be busier than usual around HQ or some kind of base of operations, wherever that is, and really putting physical effort in there, maybe decorating, DIYing, maybe relocating and renovating. It could be lots of hustle and bustle going on the home base. For other reasons, though, it could be to do with family matters, a lot of dynamic kind of interaction between family members, or maybe bigger than that, neighborhood, community. And as always, the Mars energies are very hot, and there can be conflict and tension at times, and that can affect your mood. It can make you feel more touchy. Skeletons could be rattling in the closet, and you've got to maybe realize that certain behaviors or habits or knee-jerk responses kind of are a bit counterproductive now that you're becoming so enlightened and mature. And so you really need to kick them out and ditch them and move on past them. But also this can be, the worst of all areas, because it does connect in with parents, and influences from parents, either, ongoing now or from the past. So, that kind of echo in the background. But also you could be more dynamically active because of the family line, because of, ancestry or descendants. There could be a new arrival for some of you. And also very much a more active and productive relationship with Mother Nature herself and the Earth herself. So there can be quite a lot going on, right in that very, very private area of your life. With Jupiter in your sign until July, well, the sky's the limit, really. I mean, this is time for a real growth spurt. Don't be backwards in coming forwards with things which can expand you into new areas. Taking off in new directions, maybe having to experiment a little bit sometimes, but you'll be discovering a lot through those from different backgrounds who have got certain knowledge. So there can be teachers for you, guides for you. There can be more travel, connecting with foreign cultures, and anything like that could be part of the picture. But just avoid trying to trust to luck, and overlooking important details, because if there's anything really disadvantageous about Jupiter, it can be that Jupiter doesn't sweat the small stuff, and sometimes trips up over those little tiny details. But definitely this is your opportunity to think bigger and to cast your nets wider, Cancer, and you've got until July to do it. And that's it for April. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, which is a very important one for you, being a Cancerian and the moon is your ruler, listen to the forecast for those and just piece together the picture from the three. And also, if you want to know what some of the outer planets are doing and how they may be, which part of your sign, the dates in your sign, they're going to be influencing the most this month, you can find a written version of this on my website. And I will see you the next time.